The Toei Company has been known to do many films over the years that have caused problems with the police and etc. And this is one of those movies that introduced biker gangs that really blew up the scene and made it very cool to be a biker in Japan. And we're going to check that out right now. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review and an unboxing of 88 Films' Detonation Violent Riders. This is a hugely influential film that came out, I believe it was 74, 75, and it caused a short run of motorcycle movies that came out, were directly after the whole Yakuza gang style movies that were very popular before it. But this one is very cool, man. I had a really good time watching this, and it is a kind of an exploitation, sexploitation film, but it's also really just an interesting movie. And you get a very famous character in it, Sonny Chiba, who is just a badass in everything that he's in. And he adds to this film, and surprisingly, not the main star of the film either. Of course, we're no stranger here to 88 Films. They put out a lot of really great content, a lot of like Asian films that I really just, I don't know, I found a lot of really cool stuff in their collection of stuff. And this one is no different. So this one in particular is just one of those films that was just a cool film. I feel like if there was ever to be a movie remade, like Quentin Tarantino would probably remake this kind of movie, because it's just like right in that alley of like style that he would take and then turn it into his own. But 88 Films and MVD Entertainment sent this one out to me to do a review. I'm a little late to the game. It's actually already out, so you can pick this up now. I'll put a link down below for you to pick up a copy if you'd like to pick up a copy. We're gonna go over the film first, what I think of it, and then I'm gonna tell you everything that's inside and a little bit about the extras so you can get an idea of what you're dealing with here. But definitely one to talk about, so let's get into it. So Detonation Violent Riders, I guess they call it Bakuhatsu, which this is the style in which this film was done. Now this is by director Teruo Ishii, and it is essentially about a wild-hearted biker mechanic who falls in love with an innocent girl who's actually tied to another gang. He's not necessarily in a gang, but everybody just wants him to be in one. He's got this magnetic personality that not only women love, but dudes just want to follow. He gets a notoriety, so to speak, in the movie, and it's sort of about him kind of falling into a gang and all the trials and tribulations of things that happen because of that. Now, the funny thing about this is that this movie is not so far from the truth as far as like where they pulled this inspiration from. In fact, one of the lead actors in this movie was not only in Playgirl magazine, but he was also in a biker gang called the Cools. So he could ride a bike, he looked good, and they said, you know what? Let's make him a star. And we're gonna make him a star by adding Sonny Chiba in to help him. And that star was Koichi Iwaki. And I gotta say, man, Koichi is the shit in this movie. But when Sonny Chiba comes in, it is very apparent who has the screen presence. Both of them are great, but Sonny Chiba just demands all your attention. And at the time, this was kind of at the height of Sonny Chiba's career, so he actually was kind of, stepping down a little bit, but it didn't matter because Sonny Chiba is just a badass, and I love Sonny Chiba movies. But Koichi Iwaki was super cool in this movie, and his actual character name, they decided to just call him Iwaki as well. So they kept it true to form in the story. It's just essentially him meeting up with all these different people who seem to follow him. He's like on a rented bike that he works for this mechanic, and the mechanic gave it to him as payment for him. And he's like, you know what? It's not paid off yet. You have to work for me. And then all the people he bumps into, because he's so cool, everybody wants to harass him or fuck him or everything, you know. It's just one of those things. And the cool thing is, to add to more of the story on this that I found out about this, is that there was a lot of gangs in this movie that actually signed up to be in the movie for nothing. There's like several different gangs in this movie, including one that has a swastika on top of his head. I was like, eh. The police did not like this movie being made because of all the gangs that wanted to be in this movie, and it was causing so much noise with all the bikers like revving their engines around the areas that they were doing it. And Toei has a fucking huge past of problematic stuff like this. They made Yakuza gangs cool, and that craze turned a lot of people sour because they were like, now everybody wants to be in a fucking Yakuza gang. What the fuck? This is more undesirable shit that you guys are pushing in our streets. So they had a lot of issues. One crazy story that they tell you in some of the extras about the main star of this movie, Koichi Iwaki, he actually got kidnapped by one of the biker gangs and was held prisoner for a while because they wanted to be in the movie, and they let him be in the movie, I guess. He didn't even mind. He was just like, you know, I guess it's just part of being a star. I just think it's a fascinating film. It really is kind of, you know, sexploitative, exploitative in a lot of those ways. But it's really about this guy and how gangs are really not that bad. And they kind of normalize it in a way to make it seem like they're not this, you know, complete pieces of shit that are just doing all this bad stuff. Are there those? Yeah, 100%. Do they always follow the law? No. But this kind of gives you kind of an insight into that. And they do it in such a cool way in this movie. They're like doing tricks on their bikes. They're getting into fights. Some are teaming up with other gangs to try to like make their gang bigger. They end up making their own gang called the Black Panthers. But yeah, they make their own because they're wearing black leather jackets and black sunglasses. And they're like, you look so cool, man. But yeah, it's just kind of a story of that. It actually was a lot of fun. I would say it's probably about a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. And I will definitely rewatch this again. Never heard of it before this, but you know, that's why I like trying out some of 88 Films stuff, kind of check out and what has been missed all these years that I've never seen. I'm trying to go back to 70s to try to go back even further, but I love genre film, and this is one I think if you like these kind of films, it's one to pick up. And I'm not just saying that, like I genuinely love the story in this and the characters. Not for everybody, obviously, if you're not into exploitative films in a way. Nothing too sexual, by the way. It's just a lot of tops. There is one scene in the movie that is a little off, but it's pretty typical fare for Japanese films, if you know what I mean. But even that wasn't as bad. They actually had the taste to turn the camera away in this particular movie. So I wouldn't really consider it that much of an exploitation film, but it definitely is sexploitative. I'm going to go over the extras in this and show you what's inside and everything so you can kind of get an idea if you want to pick it up for yourself. But let's get into that now. Okay, so we have the box here, which great artwork. They got their little sleeve here on the side, which is something that I usually see with Radiance films, but they've been doing it also on some of their releases. They also did this in the Gaira's Guts trilogy, which they put out as well, and I have a copy of that. I've still not watched that, by the way, but I need to. It's just sometimes I'm just not in the mood for sort of some of that depraved stuff, you know what I mean? But I had to get it because I've never seen it. Just wanted to watch all of them just to say I've seen them, because I gotta watch everything, you know? But this one's gonna be hard to show you everything, because yeah. There's some stuff on here. They do have an insert for the original poster on there, which I might switch around, but I think it looks cool. I like the original as well, but the new artwork is fantastic, which they always do a really good job. On the inside, we get our disc here, and then there's also a booklet here, which kind of goes over the cast, the crew, and everything. Like article in here called "No One Will Cry for Me: Love in the Time Aboso Zoku." That's the style, bike rider, by Michelle Kistner. She does a little article in here, which is pretty cool. I read a little bit of it, short fad craze of this. This booklet is really nice. There's some nudity in here. I didn't want to like show you, but here's a, give you like an idea. Now these are limited editions, so as always they have the like number on the back there too, so that you know which version I got of 8,000. I think I can't really see the number here. I got 23.95. Now some of the extras and like format and everything on this we're gonna go over now, which is this is obviously a Blu-ray. It's 2:35:1 aspect ratio. We got original mono 2.0 audio with new English subtitles. We got an audio commentary by Ashley Darrow and Jonathan Greenway of the Horror Vanguard podcast. I didn't get to listen to the audio commentary. I'm sure it's very interesting though. Brand new video essay by Nathan Stewart. We got a trailer, stills gallery, and the commissioned artwork of Ilan Shetty. I believe I'm saying the name correctly. So now I did listen to the video essay by Nathan Stewart, which is really pretty good. He goes over the whole history of it and even a little bit of the Yakuza history and why that's relevant to how this kind of changed into and morphed into this for a short 3-movie run series, and why it was so popular and like who Teruo Ishii is and Sonny Chiba. It's really good. But yeah, this is the release that's out now. If you want to pick up a copy for your cult collection, genre collection, or just Japanese fandom, this is definitely one to check out. I highly recommend it. 7.5 out of 10. It could be higher for some other people. But yeah, thank you so much, 88 Films and MVD Entertainment, for allowing me to check this out for you guys. Definitely give me a shout in the comment section to let me know if you've seen this, if this is something that you would be interested in, or if there's any other films in this genre or bike riding genre that I should definitely check out, whether it's 70s or later. Let me know down below. Thanks for coming by, and as always, long live the void.